No, but the reason people hate The Last Jedi is because it subverted their expectations. And that's the problem. People get into these rhythm of these stupid blockbuster movies, which, hey, I'm a part of the problem. I love them. The worst part of the pandemic for me is not being able to go to movies. But in all honesty, they say they want something different, and then they got something different, and because that something different wasn't the thing that they wanted,
okay, look,
they're like, that's not
Revenge of the Sith wasn't like, if you want to use that argument,
prequels.
Bullshit. Revenge of the Sith was awesome. Okay, that final battle is kick-ass.
It was watch it again.
You need to chill the fuck out. No, it is a good.
Watch it again.
Shut your
Watch
mouth.
it again. The only thing that's worth it is hello there and the fucking fight at the end. That's the only thing.
What's the hello there?
You don't know you're so
What when Obi-Wan meets Grievous?
It's
hello
a
there.
meme.
I don't know.
There's a whole subreddit.
Who
called
gives
prequel
a
memes.
shit about
I do.
memes? We're talking about movies.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that's the only good thing is the memes that came out of that movie.
My lower lip is trembling. I'm
Tell me
pissed
how great
off
it was
right
when he
now.
turned into Darth Vader and then he goes, "No, what the fuck is that?"
That's another. That's another.
That's
check.
what he sounded-
That's another check to James Earl Jones, you heartless bastard.
Oh yeah, because he's hurting for cash.
I
Is he
didn't
still
say
alive? He
that.
died, didn't he? Is he still alive?
No, he's alive.
The internet doesn't work in the bunker.
It was on the line.
By the way, thanks, loyal patron, for your $2. This is your Patreon exclusive show, Bunker Audio Logs. Now, this show is just going to be Jake and Tyler shoot the shit. That's all this is. So no conspiracies here. If you wanted those, I'm sorry. But this is, because we do a lot with telling stories about crazy things and aliens.
And that's how
all
we
that.
kind of lead ourselves to what we talk about every week.
Sometimes we just want to relax and talk to just friend time, You and me, buddy.
He's making threatening
they don't-
gestures towards me, and I'm feeling very unsafe.
The only way, Ashley asked if we should make up a conspiracy theory. The only way I will do that is if it's a Patreon show like this one, because those don't do shit on the public feed.
And if the patrons
numbers-wise.
ask for it, because the one time that we had a show called Tyler Makes Up His Own Conspiracies, one of our lowest rated show
That's what I'm saying.
ever. Nobody wants to hear my made up.
We could, but you know what?
Even though they're all true.
We could do that. We could do that on this show.
Yeah, if the patrons ask for it, again,
Yeah,
they're
if you
paying
guys-
good
you're
money.
giving us $2. You can. It's your show, man. But if you're already here, yeah, thanks for so much for your $2
Boom.
or your $1.
Why do you keep saying, stop
or
saying
your
money?
$10? God. Because they're
Yeah,
patrons.
it's
they
fine,
paid us.
but they don't. You keep being reminded.
No. No, I'm not saying that they only gave us $2. I'm surprised they gave us anything. We
Wow.
got
Wow.
that. That's the
Have
check.
some faith in yourself.
This we got this. This show only comes out once a month. We got to make it count, man. Gotta have
George
faith.
Michael.
Do you want a mic?
No.
Be a part of the show.
Sure. Well, yeah, actually. She
She could be a guest.
Yeah.
Our only other. She's the third chair. She's the one that guides the bunker audio logs.
she's doing a terrible job.
Yeah,
Because we're just all over the
3.5
place.
minutes in, and this
Right.
show is just bonkers. You had something. I said bonkers.
That was a candy back in the 80s, and that was really
The
good.
show is bonkers. Is that what you're saying, Ashley?
This show is bunkers. Welcome to the bunker.
Hey, take it back.
Okay, take it back. Rewind. Okay. What?
Do it again. No,
Okay.
I mean the song.
Oh, dun, dun,
No.
dun.
Nobody's gonna pay
I'm not gonna
$2 for this,
rewind
Tyler.
The fucking song. That's on you. Now,
By the way, I said once a month. We'll see how it goes.
however long you want.
If you guys would like twice a month,
Every night.
once every other week, we
Every
could do that.
night.
All right. What do you want to talk about tonight, Tyler?
Well, I figured that you would start because this,
Oh.
yeah.
You want me to start with my?
Well, why
topic?
not? Because we
Well,
already.
we just talked about
Okay,
it.
we can start with
Well,
my thing. I mean, we weren't
I can,
exactly.
I can do my topic though.
Let's do your topic because we'll come back
This
to
show's a
that.
fucking mess.
No, we weren't. My topic has something to do with what we were talking about at the beginning of the show, but
Yes.
it's not quite the same
Yes.
thing. So, but yeah, why don't you start?
Well, my thing we were talking about right before we started recording. The lost art, and that this is before everything that's happened with 2020, but the lost art of midnight showings. or midnight launches, midnight releases, because you were talking about this.
Yeah.
Because we were on the topic about how much J.K. Rowling sucks, and then you were like, I went to a midnight launch
Sale.
of a book, like a freaking nerd.
I've been to many midnight
Half-Blood
launches.
Prince, was it the last one?
I think it was,
Deathly Hallows.
I believe it was the third one. Third or fourth one.
Third one's Azkaban.
I can't remember the name of it.
Fourth one's Goblet of Fire. I feel like you would know.
I know because I try to tune it out as much as I can.
You
Out of my memories.
before everything with J.K., you didn't really like it either.
I was never into Harry Potter, no.
Yeah, I'm not either. I'm not. I mean, they're okay movies,
Mhm.
but Ashley's much more into it than I am.
Whenever anybody says to me, like, oh, you would love this, that kind of, depending on who it is, it kind of insults my intelligence. Like, you know exactly what stuff, like, gets my trigger
I don't know if
rolling.
that's true. I don't.
I will say that it took me like 2 years to see Forrest Gump. And when I finally did, I was like, why did it take me 2 years to watch this awesome movie?
I have a problem with that now, like because there's so much going, like so much that's streaming. I've
right.
fallen so behind on so many shows. Like it's really weird because I'll start watching a show and I'll get hooked on it, like Veep. Like as soon as I got 2 or 3 episodes in, I just kept going, and those aren't full like network seasons. They're only 10 episodes a season, so
Right.
I breezed through that, and it's like I always
Avenue
find-
5 for me.
Yeah, I watched that when it aired, and then we got HBO
Aired?
Max,
Aired.
and I watched the last couple episodes. But yeah, that's what I mean. It's usually comedies because they're so bite-sized
Yeah.
and they're so quick. Like Superstore is another one
Also,
that's show on NBC. I
don't
blitzed
need,
through that.
Yeah, I don't need any drama right now. There's plenty. Just turn on the news or looking outside.
Waking up and looking at your phone.
Oh, God, no.
I started to watch. I finally got around to watching season 2 of Harley Quinn. I watched the second episode.
I still haven't watched that yet.
It's on HBO Max, both seasons.
I watched Doom Patrol season 1.
Season 2's on HBO.
I know, but I keep. I don't know.
I'm trying to get Ashley into that because the trade-off is she wants me to get into the Umbrella Academy,
Uh huh.
and I
Heard
said
that's a lot of real
it-
good.
She's already watched it.
Ah,
So
yeah.
season 2 is better than season 1 according to Ashley.
Yes.
There's your review on
Boom.
your audio logs.
I've never seen Stranger Things, and
my-
I have no plans to.
I wasn't really interested in Umbrella Academy, but my compromise was like, all right, I'll watch this.
You told her that if, as long as she
She's gonna
watches
watch
The
Doom
Wire.
Patrol.
Oh,
Not The Wire. Fuck. I'm never gonna fucking watch that show. I hope you're happy.
fine. I don't give a shit.
But so
Sorry.
is that the last time you went to a midnight launch? Was going to Harry Potter?
No, the last time I went to a midnight launch, and it wasn't really a launch, although they did like have cupcakes, was for
The what?
the.
I've
Okay,
never had a cupcake
I-
at any midnight.
I
thing that
lived
I've
in
done.
Johnston at the time, and when The Force Awakens, the first of the
Oh,
the sequel trilogy that came out recently, the first one, which was
Force
all
Awakens. Yeah.
Yeah, it was the first new Star Wars movie with, the original characters and stuff since 1983 or 4, whatever. And they had the toy launch. All the toys were launching at midnight, and there was a Walmart next to me in Grimes, and so I just stayed up and I drove over there, and I ended up getting 2 or 3 Lego sets. I can't remember. But then there was like talk about like, hey, all the Walmarts across the country are going to have like a launch at midnight for the toys. And I was like, well, they'll have it over here. And all it was some dude like just putting stuff on the shelves and like a bunch of like things of like cupcakes. And I ate like probably 2 or 3 cupcakes. And I just like talked to this random dude who was like, I don't give a fuck, man. I'm just trying to put out toys. But I've been to a
That
lot of
kinda sucks, like-
CD ones when I was trashed. Because you go to the bar at like 10 and just drink until like 11:45, then go get in line down the street in Iowa City to get the first A Perfect Circle album or a Pearl Jam
Yeah,
album.
that's an extremely lost art. That doesn't happen anymore
No.
because everything's digital.
Digital.
I used to go to midnight showings a lot in the summertime, especially in high school. Biggest mistake was going to see Transformers: Revenge of the Fallen at midnight. Because 1, the movie sucked, but 2, I didn't get out of the theater until 2:30 in the friggin' morning.
Yeah, what?
I was like, fuck me.
Hope
There's
you made a
some
beer
movie-
run before you went to the theater.
I was in high school.
Oh. Hope you made a beer run before you turned.
I remember I went to the midnight showing of The Dark Knight Rises. I dressed up as a budget Batman. So I had like the Michael Keaton cowl on, and I just had a t-shirt with the bat symbol. And I took like a black sheet and made a cape out of it.
Nice.
And I was like, hey, I'm budget Batman. I do everything I can on a budget. That was my gimmick.
Yeah. So the last like midnight showing, as far as a movie goes, was the second when The Empire Strikes Back, the special editions that those came out. And my brother wanted me. I had not gone and seen Star Wars, the original, one that was with all the extra footage and all that shit put back in it. But Empire Strikes Back, my brother wanted me to see it, and I was drunk for that too, because there was a Diamond Dave's at the Old Capitol Mall across the way, and I told my brother I'd meet him there at like 11:30, and it was right over there. So I was just like, you know what, I'm just gonna wait. And I just got trashed.
You reminded me when
Going to see a movie when you're trash sucks. You have to pee a lot.
remember when Lucas thought that he could re-release all 6 movies in 3D and people would give a shit? Like that was just he tried with one movie and they're like, no, we don't care. We're not
the only
because
movie.
he had such bad faith. Those special
Only
editions.
movie we want to see in 3D, George, is fucking Willow, bro.
Whoa. Anyway, my
I'm all pissed.
I think that was the last midnight showing I went to. Was Batman: The Dark Knight, right?
But yeah, midnight midnight release parties.
Because unfortunately, the shooting happened. So after that, they stopped doing midnight showings. So it was Thursday at 7 or 8 or 9. It was just like you get to see the movie one day earlier than you normally would. Which honestly, it was kind of cool because I had Movie Pass for a long time. So then I would go see.
Oh, my brother always went to see the movie, the midnight showings. Always when a big movie came out.
But I did it for. Dude, I saw so many, and it was summer of 2018. I saw so many fucking movies in the theater.
Dude,
that I
yeah.
normally wouldn't because I had Movie Pass, which was a great service. The only problem is it was not sustainable.
Like when the Star Wars movies or Avengers movies, like when those come out, you want to get pre-orders for like that first weekend because there's spoilers and shit, right? And so I'd usually get my first ticket. Say the movie comes out on a Friday, I would usually see it by that following Monday or Tuesday, like during the day. Those to me are the best times to go see one of those big movies because it's close enough. You're going to avoid enough spoilers. And also you get the crowd size is usually not that big. But by the time I would see it, if I went and saw it on the Saturday, because my brother goes to the midnight showing of the first one, my brother would have seen it like 4 or 5 times by then. Just because he's just that into like those movies. And that's awesome. I don't think it's a bad thing.
No, and but the thing with Movie Pass was I was seeing movies like Rampage.
Mm-hmm.
I was seeing movies like Skyscraper. There were a couple other ones that I saw. The last movie I got to see with Movie Pass was the last Halloween reboot sequel, which was actually really good. I enjoyed that movie.
Was that the one with Jamie Lee?
She's in almost all of those movies. You know?
Yeah,
but no, this is the one that's like it's ignoring. They turned her into Sarah Connor. It's
Sarah Connor.
It's the one where they ignore all the other
people
ones.
air.
Give those people air.
Yeah.
My favorite midnight.
Cooper, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, Coop showing up in the bunker audio log. His first appearance, many more to come.
Tonight.
My favorite experience. I had 2 really good experiences recently because I used to go to video game launches. I used to do midnight showings, but I also would go to midnight video game launches because I don't sleep, so I like going to these events. The 2 that I remember most, 2013. I remember I pre-ordered from GameStop for the midnight launch. I pre-ordered Grand Theft Auto 5.
Okay. Nerd! No, sorry.
It was when I was living in Lincoln, and I had 2 other roommates that did the same thing. And so the two best midnight experiences I had, it was because I was with other people. So we all three pre-ordered the game. We're like, fuck yeah, we're gonna get it. We're gonna play and everything. Because I was super into video games at that time, and I was really like, I just wanted to play everything that was new. And like, I've always really been into video games, Ashley. Thank you. But we were all just excited because we'd seen so many trailers, and
We're just excited.
honestly, GTA 5 for its time at the end of the cycle of the
Yeah.
consoles it was in, unbelievable. The level of detail, and that's just Rockstar Games. They do it with Red Dead 2,
Yeah.
which I still can't believe all the things you can do in that.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, we get it. We come back home. We all hook up our Xboxes. I had to buy a separate hard drive for this game because the game was so big. Like, I only had 4 gigs.
Massive thundering. That's not irritating.
You know how
at all.
anybody listening to this is going to
Dude,
be?
I'm pissed at you right now.
They have just
I'm
they
pissed
have
at
wrecked
you.
their car, driven it into
Douchebag,
into a
dude.
pole. And we all got to play that
Class
together.
action.
I was up until 7 a.m. playing that video game. Got to a certain point where I'm like, I'm gonna go to bed, and I woke up at like noon, and my roommates, one of them was still fucking playing, and I'm like, dude, go to sleep. I actually took the day off from work to play that game all day on launch day, and yeah, it was a lot of fun. And then the other one, and I haven't told it on this show, but I have told this story before. Batman Arkham Knight, when that came out, I was going to buy it digitally because that's how I buy most of my games now. And Luke convinced me, and again, my buddy Luke, maybe he's a patron, maybe he's listening, I don't know. He convinced me to buy the game physically because he's like, dude, I want to get it because GameStop is doing a midnight launch.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh shit, yeah, let's do that. I love going to these things.
Yeah.
So we had to go to and again, I'm living in Lincoln at the time, and so if you notice both these midnight launches, Ashley wasn't there to be like, do you need to go at midnight?
So what
No
you're
comment?
saying? What you're
Yeah.
saying is since okay, I know
Ashley
how.
wasn't there to make me do responsible things. I was like, fuck yeah, let's go to midnight showings.
Dude,
I'm joking.
No, but I would get really. I went to a midnight sale.
Let me
Midnight.
finish my story.
Okay. Go, Lincoln.
Anyway, we went and got it. He bought, because he didn't have a job at the time. He was in between. And I still had a job, but I was working at a restaurant, so I could go into work tired. I just had to, not do it around customers. You'd be surprised how many times I did that job hungover, let me tell you.
No, in the restaurant industry,
a
in the
service
food
industry job?
I don't fucking believe you.
Those people don't drink. No, that pissed me off because I fell into a stereotype. I was like, God, I'm drinking all the time because I'm spending all my tip money on booze.
What else is there to do? You work in a restaurant.
I know.
Sorry. That's just me.
Anyway, he got like 3 pizzas for like the next few days. He's like, I'm gonna fucking just play this. This is all I'm doing. So we went, got some pizzas, then I bought myself one, and then this was like 8 o'clock, and we were just so ready. We could have napped to play this game, but we're like, fuck it, we're just too excited. So then we go and get it. We come back. He hooks up a TV. We're in my basement.
And you realize you don't even have the right console.
This is a PS4.
Damn it!
This is a PS4.
Son of a
I have an Xbox. No, we set up 2 screens and we've played the game for fucking hours. I had to stop playing because I looked up and I could see the sun
You
coming.
looked up?
Yeah, it's an inside joke. We could see the sun come through the window, and I'm like, oh shit, it's 7:30. I have to work at 10 o'clock.
Yeah, that's bad.
So I got like 2 hours of sleep. And I go in and I do my shift. I'm fucking tired.
Did you get right to sleep as soon as you went to go to sleep?
I played the fucking game more because I was like, this game's good. And Luke kept playing. Luke didn't go to bed for like 48 hours.
From like at 7:30 when you realized it was the sun.
No, yeah, I
coming
went
up.
to bed real fast.
Did you actually get any sleep?
Oh, I fell
Or were
right
you
asleep.
really? Huh. Because I would have been so keyed up, like I can't.
No, I was. And
Yeah.
it was a little bit of a come down of like, okay.
Yeah.
Because that game is fun as hell. If you play at Arkham Knight, excluding the fucking Batmobile shit, it's a fun game. But those are my 2 like favorite midnight launch experiences. Did you? Please don't tell me you had a midnight launch on fucking Legos.
Well, no, it was toys. I already told you.
I thought you said it was Legos.
Well, it was toys.
Toys?
And Legos were
That's
part of
even
the toy
worse.
launch. What?
So what did you
But I
get?
went-
What did you get?
I got like the first order troop carrier and like Ray's speeder. And those were like, they basically came out with each movie, they came out with like 2 waves of Legos. So like the first wave is always like stuff you don't really know about the movie. And then the second one is stuff that kind of spoils some stuff, other stuff. Kind of. Yeah. So the first couple of ones, they were just kind of like, they had the Millennium Falcon, which was way too much. And that came with like old Han Solo and Chewbacca and Rey and Finn and stuff.
You know what's funny is some movies get stuff spoiled because of toys.
Oh yeah, Giant Man in Civil War, Captain America: Civil War.
Well, I didn't know that was a leak.
Oh yeah, no, I bought.
I actually
there was a Lego.
I didn't know about that. I was legit surprised.
Well,
in that
see,
movie.
I was because I there's a couple websites where you can look at leaks and see what's coming out like a year before it comes out, which sucks because it used to be when I first started buying Legos, if you know, I would just be like working at Target and I would turn the corner and like, oh, that's really fucking cool. And then, oh, I want to buy that, you know?
Yeah.
But now with the internet, well, not with the internet, of course it was around then, but anymore, I can just look it up. So it's like, sweet, this is coming out. I can't wait. I want
Yeah.
to get this.
And then they make a bunch of weird ones to throw you off. Be like, is this in the movie or is this in the movie? You know?
Right? There's there's a lot
always
of
these weird things.
See, and Marvel and DC,
Or
for,
some of them are just like cut from the
Right.
movie.
The thing about Star Wars is if there's a movie coming out, that's going to be part of the what's coming out.
Yeah.
But they've also been redoing sets that they've done before, like Obi-Wan's hut, the cantina, Luke's land speeder. They're coming out with an AT-AT, which is the big four-footed monster featured in Empire Strikes Back during the whole Hoth scene. They recently came out with a new Bespin Cloud City set. So that was pretty fun. Yeah, but they had like for Marvel and DC, what they were doing is
Hold on.
what Marvel and DC was doing is basically movies, but since they don't do as much for DC movies, like like Wonder Woman and Aquaman both had one set apiece. Now, most Marvel sets, you're going to have like 5 or 6 sets for each movie.
Oh, yeah.
Depending on the size of the movie. Like Black Widow had one, Captain Marvel had one, but like like the Avengers ones.
It was pulling
the
teeth
Avengers
to get the
ones,
Black Widow one.
Yeah, well, the Avengers ones are, there's multiple scenes. But what they were also doing was they were doing like kind of comic accurate shit. Like they just recently came out with one. It was all these Avengers sets, and one of them was like Avengers AIM Cycle Chase or something.
Yeah.
And it's an AIM agent, and then an Avengers cycle with Black Panther, and then Thor. And Black Panther has his little
His
cowl.
cape.
And that's like totally, yeah.
Yeah.
But then they came out with one with Hawkeye, and it's from the movie, and it's like you could have just gave him that cool fucking purple mask.
Oh no.
Yes,
That wouldn't have looked
fucking
good.
yes, it would have,
No.
dude. Fuck off.
Dude,
Why
Thor's
the fuck am I talking to
helmet.
you about? Yeah, they should have made Thor's helmet.
Thor's helmet is there in Ragnarok.
No,
It's just a modified version of it.
no, it's not.
It's like, oh, you want him to fucking put wings on the ears of fucking Cap's costume? It looked dumb.
I know, not.
Some things
I'm not
work in a
talking
panel
about
that
the
don't work in a
MCU.
movie.
I'm talking about the fact that hey, we're doing it just for a Lego set. It's
Oh,
not
no,
based
just
off
for
of
toys. I got
right.
you.
So the toy, if you're gonna do
I get it. Merchandising, yeah.
exactly. If you're gonna do, but DC for a time they would,
Ashley, just fucking get on a mic.
every DC Lego set has either a Batman or a Superman. Every Marvel set has either a Spider-Man or an Iron Man. It's just inevitable. So
Plus
I
it
have
helps Spider-Man has
I have
1,000
fucking
costumes.
millions of Spider-Mans. I have millions of Iron
Spider-Man.
Mans. whatever,
Iron Man.
whatever. And I have millions of Batman and Superman, okay? But like they would come out with one like Superman and Wonder Woman and Martian Manhunter fucking fight Brainiac, dude. Like fucking sweet. It's Brainiac from the comics. It's fucking cool as shit. That's a cool set.
That's the biggest
Now they don't
injustice.
come out with anything but Batman sets. And it's like, hey, here's another fucking Robin and another Man Bat. Except for he's white.
Hey,
What?
I had a Batman podcast, so why don't you show some respect on my boy
I'm
Bruce
just
Wayne?
saying, give us a set with like just like the Justice League International from the 80s with Geffen and DeMatteis and Maguire and Kevin Maguire, dude. Like groundbreaking. Like have like a Black Canary and Blue Beetle and Booster Gold and fucking Guy Gardner. Have that set, man. I guarantee you it'll fucking sell, man.
No, nobody likes Guy Gardner.
Yeah, everybody likes Guy Gardner.
What? Nobody liked Guy Gardner. He was like one of the worst ones.
Do you live in the same country as I do, where we thrive on these anti-hero fucking assholes?
Oh my God. He got knocked out in one punch by Batman.
Exactly. From that series is what I'm talking about. The groundbreaking Justice League
That is an
International.
ugly costume. I'm sorry. I do not like that.
I don't
just
care.
like
the point is
anything
to
about
make
it.
a fucking Lego that I already have. So when I'm spending $90 on a fucking
Hey,
Justice
hey.
League, okay.
Can we start a new podcast?
Yes.
Brick by Brick with Tyler Allen.
Oh fuck, man.
And you
will.
just bitch about Legos for an
Yes.
hour.
Oh yes. No, about a half an hour is about all I can do. Because otherwise it'll be like
Come
one
on.
show.
This is already there for you. Brick by
You
Brick.
got to let
Are you kidding
me do like, cereals. Well, you want to talk about cereal? No.
Oh, well, that's another bunker audio.
Here's a tip from me to you. Every week on every episode on our Patreon post, I'm going to have what's called a cereal tip, okay? And I mean
cereal, the
about
food?
cereal, yes.
Oh.
Because I really love cereal still in my 40s.
You're just gonna write that on Patreon? I don't care. Go for it.
I'm saying like during this show for our patrons, I'm going to do that once a week. So that's another added incentive to pay for the
$2 to hear a cereal tip.
No, if you do this, special whatever. Private. So
Super
here's my
exclusive.
cereal tip is that once upon a time there was a cereal for Ninja Turtles cereal and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cereal, and it
Did
was
they have marshmallows?
it was basically rice checks
Ugh.
with marshmallows.
That sucks.
No, it was awesome, dude. The contrast
I want
and the
fucking mini
texture
wheats with my
of like
marshmallows.
kind of crunchy fucking marshmallows and like crunch. Oh, it was so good.
I don't know. I don't
So,
know if we should be letting this out.
I actually
I don't trust your
bought
tips.
a set of I bought a box of cheap store brand checks, and then I bought because the checks were supposed to be Ninja Nets in the original cereal, and then all the marshmallows were like the turtles and Shredder and Feet and the Foot Soldiers, blah.
Oh, that's terrible.
You're terrible. And then I bought like store brand checks and store
That's not
brand
perfect.
like Lucky Charms, like Magic Treasures, like from Hy-Vee or some shit. And I took out all the marshmallows out of the box of Magic Treasures and
You
put
did
them.
this recently?
Yeah, and I put them aside in an airtight container. And then I took every time I had a bowl of Ninja Turtle cereal, quote unquote, I would pour in some rice checks into the bowl and then take the marshmallows and put them in there. And then I would have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle cereal every time I wanted it. It takes a little bit, but here's a tip from me to you. For all of you who've done this, here's a tip. You can actually buy bags of just the marshmallows online.
So
That you don't have to sit there and pick through a fucking box of Magic Treasures because there's no treasures inside.
why not just
Whatever happened? Speaking of stuff that never happens,
that sounds like a
prizes in the cereal boxes.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
I never had
man?
that 'cause
What the fuck?
I grew up with store brand cereal, so I mean, like where you get like $4 and it's a giant
the bag.
fucking bag of cereal. Hey,
If you do the math,
poor kid,
the
that
bag
was a good
cereal is
time.
actually not that great of a deal.
I think it's sometimes
Cereal is overpriced.
Better.
It's
It is.
fucking oats and wheat.
the cereal is too damn high.
God damn it. Here's a family size.
Bitch.
Yeah, I mean, here's like every cereal should be.
You
family
mentioned a
size,
Ninja
yeah.
Turtle cereal.
Yeah. Yes.
the best licensed cereal I ever ate. 2002. We're talking first Spider-Man movie, the
From the
Raimi
movie 2002.
the Raimi movie.
What a license!
The first one.
Uh-huh.
They had a cereal, and it was fantastic.
What was in it?
Sugar.
I understand that.
That's
but
what I mean. That was his gimmick. It was just all
Right,
sugar.
but okay.
It was just like webs.
Made out of what? Cereal.
Yeah, cereal webs.
Okay.
That was it. And there were
No
different-
marshmallows or
There were red,
anything?
white, and blue.
Okay.
But it was kind of like the flavoring of Frankenberry,
Okay.
because the red ones definitely tasted.
Were there marshmallows?
no marshmallows? If I'm being honest, I don't really like marshmallows in my cereal.
The fuck is wrong with
take.
you?
Hot take, dude. Come on, marshmallows aren't that great to begin with.
Oh my god.
Unless it's a s'more, why the fuck are you eating a marshmallow? You know, when in your life do you say, "Hey, I need a fuck"? Although
Right
I was
now,
watching Umbrella
I'm thinking about it
Academy.
right now. What?
I was watching Umbrella Academy. They made peanut butter and marshmallow sandwiches.
That's
And
fucking
that sounds
fucked
good
up.
to me. Fluffer Nutter.
Fluffernutters are for weird British people.
Why don't you try one?
No. I will not.
You're over here telling me how to fuck.
You don't tell me how to eat marshmallows.
You literally picked the marshmallows out of a cereal box. Don't fucking judge me, man.
I will fucking no.
What'd you want to talk about tonight
Oh, well,
in the bunker?
we were kind of talking about Star Wars and Star Trek a little bit. As we walked out of the bunker to take his dog for a walk. 'Cause-
Cooper the conspiracy scooper.
Yeah, Cooper the conspiracy scooper. And we
His
were talking.
nickname is longer than his name.
We were talking about Scooper.
I like it. No, that's his name. It's
We were
Scooper.
talking about Star Trek.
with Scooper.
And I said something about
Hey,
Star
boys, gotta
Trek,
scoop.
and Jake revealed to me that he's never seen an episode of the original Star
I
Trek
haven't any
show, any of the shows.
The only thing I've seen is Abrams.
Is the Abrams movies, and that really disappointed me because whether you know it or not, or whether you out in the audience know it or not, depending on your age and what your exposure to Star Trek is, you've probably been exposed to more Star Wars in the last 10 years than Star Trek, probably. Even though Star Trek is doing great things over on CBS.com, the streaming
The
CBS
all access stuff?
Oh boy.
Have you watched Lower
Discovery.
Decks yet?
Picard, Lower Decks. They're bringing back something other. Or they're bringing back something else too. They're having
That's
another-
because CBS knows the only thing they have is Star Trek, so they're gonna put all their money.
But that's awesome. And you know what else?
that's
They don't
great
have
for
a
Star Trek,
stranglehold. Here's
great for Trekkies.
So here's why I wanted to tell you. I wanted to tell you that if you're a Star Wars fan, and you're probably more of a dick than a Star Trek fan. And I know this is going to rankle some feathers, and that's fine. That's kind of the point. But Star Wars fans, if I don't know if you remember, but they had a woman in the second movie who was Korean, and for some reason, I don't know why, but every Star Wars fan decided to choose her to talk about when they were talking about how bad Last Jedi was, Mr. Man.
Well, they also talked about when they first saw John Boyega was going to be in it. They tried to cancel that too.
Of course,
They tried to boycott
because the
that
black
too
man.
because people are dumb.
So
and racist.
Star Wars fans are fucking dicks. They're
Yeah.
fucking dicks, and they can't handle a little bit of fuck. Here's the thing: is that if you read any of the Marvel comics or the Dark Horse comics or what they call Legends now, any of the books that they fucking basically erased from existence, thanks Disney for nothing. Seriously, there's
No,
a
that-
wealth. There's a wealth of amazing stories that broke the fucking Star Wars telling mold many times
Well,
over,
that's the thing.
and are amazing stories.
That I do think that's a problem. I think Disney.
Solo was a good movie. Who ruined it? Who fucked it up with the? Who fucked it up before it came out? A bunch of shithead Star Wars fans going, "I don't wanna." Meh, 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 meh.
It isn't unnecessary.
Why is my song called Indiana Jones? It doesn't have shit on me instead of Han Solo ain't got shit on me.
Well, I don't know why.
Because fucking Star Wars fans would rip me a new asshole if I said hey, Han Solo ain't got nothing on me. Sorry,
It's okay.
you know what I mean?
No, I get it. No, I'm on your side. I think that Star Wars fans suck.
Yeah.
I did a whole when I used to do the Jake Williams show.
And I'm a Star Wars fan, but I don't.
no,
Yeah.
no. I did a whole episode about that on my old podcast about how shitty Star Wars fans are, and I'm on your side. I love Star Wars, but
Yeah,
the
I got a little
fandom
heated
has
there.
gotten so toxic. It is crazy. It is crazy. And you know what?
It's a whole Comicsgate
the more
thing.
I'm on the internet,
Hey, nerds.
but no, and I'm finding out more and more. It's not just Star Wars fans, although they are a big number. It's just the internet. The internet fucking
That's true.
sucks, man.
Yeah. Well, as
I
long
only-
as you
trust
have.
me, I know all about toxic fans. I'm on the fucking Gears of War subreddit right
Oh my
now,
God.
and all they do is shit on this game. Now that they've had a big final big update a couple weeks ago, everybody starts liking the game again, and I'm like, you motherfuckers do this with every update. There's a bunch of people that hate it no matter what. There's some people that like kind of like it, and then another 2 weeks they start shitting on it. That's just fandoms. They're terrible, but.
It's the
but I think
anonymity that is the problem
it
to me.
started for me noticing it was Star Wars fans. That's
Yeah.
when I started to catch on. Like, man, the internet
Well,
fucking
it's
sucks.
the Comicsgate shit. It's these fucking jerk offs who are like, hey, wait a second, James Bond can't be black.
James Bond
why-
can't be a woman.
Why not?
Because its name's James.
Why can't Santa Claus be black? Listen, motherfuckers, you guys have had a white Jesus, which is completely against the original character for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years.
It's what we-
so I think I can have a fucking black Santa Claus once a fucking year.
It's what
Assholes.
it's what we.
They're fictional.
No,
characters.
but that's the thing that gets me is like. We were talking about Last Jedi before we started recording,
Yep.
and you and I both like this movie, but every other Star Wars fan, it seems like
And then they erased it with
They
the
get
third
mad
one,
about it.
basically.
it's like it's okay if you didn't like the movie.
Sure, but why?
But if you could explain to me why, and there's been people that have explained it, and I was like, all right, I understand that. Like, that's
So-
okay. But when you just say that, like, it breaks this lore that, like, one of the big things, Yoda used Force lightning to just burn a tree, and I'm like, dude, we're talking about space wizards, and you want to talk about
Right.
what space ghosts can and can't do?
yeah.
They're fucking space ghosts.
And if you want to go down that fucking path, no, he didn't use force lightning. He pulled lightning out of the sky with his force telekinesis. Asshole.
See? You just explained it away.
Well,
But
what the fuck, you guys? Are you kidding
you
me?
can't defend the fucking Princess Leia scene, though. That was just
Why not?
shit.
Why can't I?
That was one of the dumbest things I've ever seen in cinema.
Okay, you know what? Maybe, but you know what? Why? Why is it such a bad deal?
I raspberried out loud
Why?
in the theater. Why are
She
we
has Jedi
deciding
training.
that? Look, I get it. She's a Skywalker, but why are we deciding that in this movie she all of a sudden the Force can defy space? Like,
Just because you've never seen it done before, now you're doing exactly what that dude did.
I know, but
Because you haven't seen it before.
I'm
It's a
saying that it could have been
convenience.
done a better way.
Sure,
it was done
it's
in a bad way.
convenient and pretty shitty storytelling device. You're
I
right.
don't like that Leia has force powers for one. I mean, it makes sense story wise. It would make sense. I don't have an issue with that.
What about
because
the
logic of
end
it. But the
scene?
fact of
Okay.
how they did it, it was more the execution. If you want
Sure.
to make her fly through space, sure, but it was so overly done and cheesy, and it was such a dick punch. I feel like because it was and I understand that they filmed this beforehand, but unintentionally it feels like a shit on Carrie Fisher moment because she had just passed away, and so it was like, really, we're gonna just fucking kill her off like this? Oh wait, now she's space Jesus? Okay.
That was pretty stupid.
I think there would have been a
I'm not saying it's
I think it
perfect.
should
I'm
have
just
been done a
saying
better way.
I'm just saying
That's
like
what I'm saying.
you have legitimate like even the douchebag who's talking about force lightning and not understanding how the force works at all. God. I
think some things
did
were
a
forced.
dissertation at MIT.
I think some things were forced. I think
Sure.
the Rose.
like Han's-
I think the Rose Finn thing didn't work for me
Sure.
because I was like, make a decision. Is Daisy Ridley Ray? That's her name. Is Ray his love interest?
I
or
don't
is
know.
It Rose?
They didn't
What are we
even see
doing?
each other in the second one. Listen, Solo,
But now they're friends in the third
Solo?
movie. They're just friends.
good movie.
Solo was fun.
It was a fun Star Wars movie.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up. Sorry.
That's the thing. These guys take themselves too
But
seriously.
Star Trek, listen to Star Trek. First of all, Star Trek, the shows that they've been doing, they've allowed, especially since Roddenberry died, passed.
Super progressive.
They have been because there's no asshole. And sorry, but whether you like it or not, Roddenberry was a fucking hack who stole a lot of his ideas and his stories. But while he was alive, he was the be all and end all. Okay, but the reason why the Star Trek movies are decent, some of them are good and some of them are bad, is because they took chances. And the reason why was because
Was it only the even numbers are
Roddenberry
good?
was executive producer, but they always had a director and a writer who were largely allowed to do what they wanted to do. You know, as long as it fit. You know, Star Wars movies are so much different, and Disney has proven it by getting rid of all that other extra stuff. Star Trek has never gotten rid of the extra stuff. They just add on to it.
Yeah.
And that's what's kind of cool about it. Like, hey, you know what? We want to reboot Star Trek.
But how many? That's the thing, though. How many? Because there's original, then you got Next Generation, you got Deep Space Nine, you got Voyager.
You got Enterprise, which was an underrated show about how the very first Enterprise, when
but
it was
they're all
more of
still
a
connected.
sub.
They're all still,
To a degree.
because I mean Patrick Stewart's was the Next Generation,
Right.
so it was always
Picard was really good.
it was always moving. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And then the Kelvin timeline, like you're talking about, the Abrams movies.
That's
That's a
say what you
different
will,
timeline.
But I thought for a reboot,
Those are good movies.
For a reboot,
I like them.
like a remake, modern remake.
Fuck
to
you
say-
telling us that it's not Khan and then having it be Khan.
But I like the idea that it was on an alternate timeline.
Yeah.
So it gives it that cool aspect where it can exist next to the shows
Yep.
and be its own thing.
Yeah, exactly.
And but with having, because I thought that was brilliant to bring in Spock and say, I'm in a different timeline. To be like, oh, so each series has their own timeline, which was pretty cool.
Well, that's the other thing too, is that you know, the freedom that the writers and directors have been allowed to have on these Star Trek projects. I don't know if we're going to see any Star Trek movies anytime soon. That's fine, because you know what, they like the DC universe. The DC TV universe is kick ass. They kick Marvel's TV universe all to shit.
yeah, Marvel kind of gave up on that. DC also has better anime.
They're coming back with like Disney Plus stuff, and the DCEU is kind of finding its footing. But
Honestly,
Star Trek
in
had
my
one of the
opinion-
first interracial kisses in TV history in the 60s. There was a thing called IDIC, which is independent cultures. It's basically the idea that Roddenberry had is that the future would be a time when everything was better, when like there was no money to create greed, there was no religion to create, you know, religious
It was a literal
persecution.
utopia.
No, yeah, there was no barriers of color or of gender and whatnot. You know, Martin Luther King told Nichelle Nichols during the 60s when she was thinking about quitting because she didn't like Hollywood because she was a black woman and
Yeah.
obviously shit on like every fucking day she
Yeah.
was there. He told her, he said, or I think she reached out to him or something, or he reached out to her and said, I need you to stay because you are hugely visible and mainstream, and this is important for us. This is important for the black community. That's huge. You never saw that with Star Wars. In fact, the first black main character you see is in the second one, and he's a villain at first, and it's Billy D. Williams, you know,
Yeah.
Lando Calrissian. But
Yeah.
as soon as you see a main character who's a black man or a supporting character who's a Korean woman, like you might as well just believe that every Star Wars fan is just a virgin white dude living in his mom's basement, and that's not accurate at all.
Well, what I was told was for people that were really into it, that there were in the show itself there were just as many peace missions as there were action missions, and that was in part because of their budgets, and they couldn't, you know, have a Hollywood style budget for 20 something episodes, so they had to have a lot of filler episodes. But what I was told is that helped make it a better show. And maybe you can tell me about that, but I was always under the impression that because they were forced to do slower, grounded episodes and character shit, that it got to be a better show because of it.
yeah, and well,
Each iteration. Except for
there's-
Deep Space Nine. I think people really fucking hate Deep Space Nine. I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm not a Trekkie.
I don't know. I'm not really much of a Trekkie myself, and I'm enough of a Trekker to know that people hate being called Trekkers. I did it like 4 times. Fuck you. Get a fucking life and get a sense of humor. Anyway.
Jesus.
Well, come on. If you're really
We just
that
bitched
upset-
about Star Wars fans. It's only fair. Bitch about Star Trek
no,
fans.
No. I'm saying if you're a person who's like, if you hear the word Trekker and you're triggered by it, go fuck yourself. You really, really need to calm the fuck down about yourself, okay?
Here's the difference between Star Trek and Star Wars.
Yes.
Star Trek is about these peace missions and all the things. It's peace missions, and yes, there is attacks and all this stuff, but this is a progressive utopia. What, like, the ideal thing with no money and no blah blah blah. Where Star Wars is literally just one family fucking up the galaxy. It's literally just the Skywalkers fucking everything up.
Star Wars is based in a galaxy far, far away, a long time ago. And based on physics, that could be anywhere. Hey, look it up. Star Trek is based from the planet Earth, us. It's more us. It's more our future. Star Wars is fantasy. Star Trek is supposed to be ostensibly our future. Okay.
It's more hard sci-fi versus
Now, Star Wars,
sci-fi fantasy.
both of them have some fucked up shit,
yeah.
okay? Parsecs is not a distance of fucking, is not a unit of distance, it's a unit of time. So you fuck that up, or sorry, it's a unit of time, not and whatever. Parsecs, when he goes, hey, it made the Kessel Run in 12 parsecs, they had to like fucking write around that in Solo. Because they knew, oh shit, when they wrote that, whoever wrote science genius wrote that.
They made a whole entire movie justifying.
Didn't realize that parsecs is a unit of distance and
Tyler.
not time. What?
They made a whole entire movie justifying the fucking hole in the Death Star.
Yeah, I guess so.
That's literally what Rogue One was.
Yeah.
I thought it was cool how they explained it away, saying that he created it, but
It was always understood that somebody purposely put a.
there was an insurgent.
Yeah, that there was somebody had. What am I talking like this real? There was a like this is a like there was. It was always understood that somebody had the wherewithal while they were building it to go. Okay, we have to have a failsafe in case somebody uses this to like just start blowing up planets like Alderaan. And hey, look what happened!
Too late,
Eh.
dude. The ending to Rogue One. With that Vader scene, oh my god, I loved every second of it. Because you never really got to see him just fucking wreck a whole room of dudes, and it was so cool to see for the first time. Like as soon as it's dark, and the way it's a slasher flick, because it's just dark, and then you see a red beam, and I'm like, oh,
say what you will about Hayden Christensen, like he did embody in my mind. He embodies Anakin Skywalker. So because of the prequels and everything, I feel like he's inside there somewhere. And knowing that he's just fucking taking it on the chin because of his own hubris. And now he's a machine and he can't do all the force shit that most people can. But dude, he is a monster and he revels in it, dude. And it's so cool to actually see it. And just to say, you know what? Fucking I need that. You're all in my way. You're all going to die. That's the reputation he had in the original Star Wars, is like, oh my God, it's Darth Vader.
Yeah, but you never really got to see it.
Right. Yeah. Why is that? Yeah, well,
I mean, you got to
he
see
slayed all the younglings, dude.
He did have a cool fight, like a lightsaber fight with Luke in the second movie and the third movie.
Yeah.
They had pretty decent duels.
Did you notice that?
As bad as in Phantom of the Menace is, as bad as that movie is, the best lightsaber duel I've seen. Duel of the Fates, man.
Dude.
The music to that,
so
that is still their best scene.
If you can watch it without watching any of the other scenes that are going on during
just
that.
Skip to that on your
Just
Blu-ray.
literally just have a big fucking like
probably find it on YouTube.
super cut. Yeah, just a super cut of the just the lightsaber battle from start to finish. Interesting note.
Better than anything in the new movies. Better than the sequel
in Return of the Jedi. Okay.
Duel of the Fates, man.
Oh, dude, the Snoke's throne room.
That was pretty bad.
That was pretty fucking badass,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Come on,
that was great.
That was pretty cool.
Especially when she throws in the saber and he lights
you're
it through the guy's eye hole.
Although notice that one of the guy's knives like just disappears at one point, but whatever.
It's a goof.
It's a goof. Anyway, real quick in Return of the Jedi.
See, I like Last Jedi.
Return of the Jedi. Okay.
Here we go.
Return of the Jedi. You're such a drunk. No, Return of the Jedi when Luke Skywalker and Darth Vader are fighting in the throne room, and Luke Skywalker jumps up onto a higher area. Darth Vader says, "Obi-Wan has taught you well."
Yeah. Ow. Your knuckle pretty hard on the table.
It's
man.
okay. My knuckles are hard as stone.
They're steel.
Steel knuckles.
Steel knuckle.
Knuckle.
And a booger.
Knuckle 'em up. Knuckle.
Funk yeah.
But okay, here's another here's another interesting thing between Star Wars and Star Trek. Star Trek was praised for a lot of its characterization and everything like that, and the writing was pretty good, story wise and character, all that, but it was too clean. A lot of people really thought Star Wars was groundbreaking because it was called what was a lived-in universe.
Yeah.
It was dirty. Things were dirty. They got dirty.
You're on a desert planet.
Everything in Star Trek is like pristine white all the time, and like everything in Star Wars is like, shit.
Well, it's such
the Millennium Falcon's breaking down.
Dude, if you watch it, it's such a 70s movie.
Yeah.
It's so 70s.
It totally
and
is.
People forget
the
that
hairstyles are like, what's up?
The way that it's shot, and the idea, because that was the thing in the 70s, was that grimy, nasty looking shit. And I mean, one of the most iconic things is the fucking cantina.
Mm-hmm. Figrin Dan and the Modal Nodes. That's the name of the band.
Oh, I know.
Do you know
there's a
really?
werewolf in that scene too?
No, he's not a werewolf.
There's a werewolf.
It's a species.
You're the worst. You're one of those nerds that takes this shit too seriously. You know too much about
Look,
this.
Hammerhead's real name is Moma Nadon, and the reason why people can't...
What was the...
He's an Ethorian, and the reason why people can't learn Ethorian is because humans only have one mouth, and Ethorians have two mouths. Yes?
Oh, my God.
One on either side of their head. What?
Nerd alert.
Hammerhead.
You fucking nerd.
You fucking suck. I get all excited.
No, that was too good. We're gonna.
What, that hunk of junk? I don't like you either.
He doesn't like you.
I have the death system 12. I have the death sentence 12 systems.
One of my favorite Robot Chicken bits from the Star Wars special was when fucking the Emperor gets the call that the Death Star gets blown up.
Yeah.
They blew it up? I'm sorry. I'm just pissed off that my Death Star gets destroyed by a fucking teenager. Oh, God, he's crying.
Both,
why don't you go back to that Padme, Panda Bear, whatever the hell.
We both agreed yesterday that when we were talking that Robot Chicken does not hold up.
It doesn't. Most of Family Guy doesn't hold up anymore. I used to love Family Guy. You know what does hold up? Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
Damn yeah, dude!
I was watching that.
I love that. The Mooninites are my favorite.
It's all on HBO Max.
Yeah, the Mooninites, dude.
I hope you can see my finger because this is the biggest I can make it.
I'm holding it up as hard as I can.
Oh,
yeah, man, you're flipping them off real hard.
Yeah, fuck them. And then, hope you're ready for the super laser. And it's just a giant bloop.
It's just a bigger fucking pixel.
No, I was watching that the other night and like a bunch of nostalgia because I remember it was a summer night and I used to watch
summer nights.
When I was growing up. I used to watch Adult Swim on summer nights on like every weeknight because I didn't have a job.
Right.
I was in like middle school. Probably shouldn't have been watching these shows, but. I just remember that show. I don't know why I got because it's so fucking weird. It's such a weird show.
Yeah,
and I think that's what made it so appealing. Because you had your Futuramas and your Family Guys on that block of Adult Swim, but then as it gets later in the night, shit gets weirder and weirder.
Because Axe Cop, you're like.
Yeah,
I mean that was on Fox. Like,
I need to watch more of the Venture Bros. I've been watching a lot of that.
I wasn't a big Venture Brothers, but like C-Lab, I love C-Lab. C-Lab 2021, so fucking great.
Did you ever watch Frisky Dingo?
Oh yes,
Frisky, because that was pre-Archer.
The guys who do Archer.
Frisky Dingo is one of the funniest fucking things I've ever watched. Please don't kill me. Please don't make it so appealing.
Yeah. The second season where he's running for president is so fucking hilarious. Like the political satire in that season is just on point.
And then they knew the show wasn't coming back, so they like killed every character.
Wait, so you've known that you've had this check for millions of dollars the whole time? Yeah, but it's community outreach. When he's got the community outreach center.
Yeah.
What's the name of the transsexual prostitute? Simone.
Yeah, I've never given it.
It's just like a crack whore, like
No, one of my favorite things was the Xtacles.
Yes.
When they
Is it weird or is the boss really have a hot ass? Does that make me gay?
Yeah. Oh, when they're fucking. One of my favorite scenes of the whole show was when they're fucking. They have the hostile takeover of the Alfred type character. I don't remember his name.
Yeah.
And he's like, we got a bomb caller, and if for every hour that you don't find Xander Cohen, I'm going to blow your head off or something. And one guy was like, they're just out in the town, these henchmen, pretty much, but they look like robots. He's like, I don't know. Ooh, let's take a ceramics class. I don't know, man. I don't know if we'll have any time. And the other guy's head just explodes.
Right.
We got a whole hour. And then they're making ceramics, and one dude's making an ashtray.
Yeah.
He goes, who's that ashtray for? And he goes, my mom. Dude, seriously? And they're all like, what? She still smokes? Yeah, just through her neck hole. Oh my God, what the fuck? Like, they're all mad at this guy for making an ashtray. It's like just random shit.
Yeah.
And that's what I loved about Adult Swim is they really just didn't give a shit. They just put whatever they could. And
Squidbillies. What a fucking
I never
weird,
watched Squidbillies.
That was a weird show.
It's from the Aqua Teen guys.
You're an Aqua Teen guy.
I can't think of any other ones that I actually watched.
Yeah, C-Lab.
I need to watch Samurai Jack. I haven't watched the new stuff.
That was more like Cartoon
That was Cartoon Network,
yeah.
but then the last season they moved it to Adult Swim because they're like, fuck it, let's make it
I
gory.
used to watch Adult Swim a lot more when I was still drinking because I'd be up.
It's up.
I'd be up and there's nothing to do, and hey, turn on the TV.
Space Ghost Coast to Coast.
Oh yes,
The fucking Brack Show.
uh huh.
Hey everybody.
Hey everybody. Yeah, Brack is hard to do.
Zorak is.
Zorak is the best.
Yeah, those shows are great. I saw that
Moltar.
there's a petition now to replace Ellen with Space Ghost. Space Ghost Coast to Coast is on HBO Max.
Wow. New episodes?
No, they're just
Well then, shut up.
the voice actor died. The guy who did Space Ghost.
Gary Owens.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, okay. I'm sure. Guess what? Mel Blanc died, but they've been doing fucking Bugs Bunny shit
Yeah,
for
because
years.
Billy West is a fucking great voice actor.
Well, get Billy West.
To do Space Ghost.
Yes, Billy West can do anything. Welcome to Space Ghost Coast to
Did you
Coast. I
see
can do
that?
it. I can do it.
My buddy Luke made me a custom Space Ghost
How
action
dare
figure.
you?
You want to see it? They can't see it.
I've seen it.
That's for after the show. Well, thanks so much for listening to.
Time to play Hide the Space Ghost action figure.
Thanks. What? Thanks so much for listening to
Why?
this edition of Bunker Audio Logs. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you again so much for donating the $2 to listen to the show on patreon.com. We couldn't be doing this stuff without you guys, and we appreciate anything you give us, whether it's your ears or your dollars, but especially your dollars, you patrons, you wonderful, beautiful people.
Beautiful.
Do I sound? Is that too baggy? Am I showing the right amount of affection to someone that gave me money?
I think you're showing the exact right amount.
Oh, I feel like
affection.
a stripper in a way. Yeah, well, there you go. So, with the
Put them $2 in your G-string there, bruh.
yeah, with that $2, of course, you'll get this show. We'll try and put it out bi-weekly. We'll see what happens. Anyway, thanks for listening, and you know where to go if you want to follow us on Twitter at tinfoil_radio, Tinfoil Radio on Facebook, all that fun stuff. Tinfoil TV on YouTube. We love you guys. And if you're hearing this, we're still alive, I think. I wanted to make it sound different than the usual show. Tyler walked away. He's checked out.